A very pleasant morning to all my dear students. Today, 28th of April 2021, as we have started chapter number 2, The Sound of Music, and its part 2 also, that is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. We had already discussed 2 points of this part. Let us revise first those parts, then we will proceed to the next point of the chapter. In the previous class, we had seen that Emperor Aurangzeb, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, he was a Mughal one, he was a Mughal emperor, right? Mughal emperor, he banned the playing of pungi. What is the instrument called? Pungi. Because this instrument produce a very unpleasant sound, very shrill sound that doesn't like by Aurangzeb, right? So, meanwhile after that, a new instrument came to exist. This pungi was revised and a new instrument called as Shehnai was being introduced. In this instrument, a pipe has to be set up, and between that pipe 7 holes are there, right? It was broader and larger than pungi. This instrument means Shehnai was broader and larger than pungi. It has 7 holes in which sounds can be produced. After listening Shehnai, each and everyone in the royal court of Aurangzeb impressed with that sound. And this Shehnai was first introduced by a barber, right? A barber introduced this Shehnai, and after that, all of them, those who are present in the royal court, they have decided that this musical instrument should be given a particular and unique name. As it was a royal court, it is also known as Shah's court, right? And it was introduced by a barber, which in Hindi we can say Nai. So the word Sheh plus Nai is introduced, which makes a new word, that is Shehnai, right? So in this manner we can say that Shehnai was introduced. Traditionally, in the beginning, Shehnai was used to play in the royal courts of Mughal emperors and everywhere. Afterwards, we have seen it is also played in temples, right? And also in wedding ceremonies. Shehnai is a very nice, very beautiful and melodious, produces a very melodious sounds, and it is played in temples as well as in wedding ceremonies. So this much we have already discussed in those 2 points. I hope whatever we have discussed earlier, it must be clear. It must be given idea, right? So in this way, Shehnai has came to existence with the help of a barber who introduced this Shehnai, and this Shehnai was played in temples as well as in some wedding anniversary of northern part of India. Now we can proceed to the explanation of more points. Let us 3, 3rd, 4th and 5th point we can see, and so that our concept regarding Shehnai must be clear. Students, one more thing is that this Shehnai is completely different from pungi. As I told you, it is broader in size, larger in size. It has 7 holes, right, in which sounds can be vibrate, and when we listen while playing a Shehnai, it gives a very sweet and melodious song. So now we can see the explanation of the other points of this part 2. Let us start the explanation of point number 3, right? As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. So when Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, he lived in an old estate. He lived in an old estate which is of named Dumrao in present day Bihar state. Okay. He used to play gilli danda, an old sport quite similar to cricket, we can say that, right? He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. So here we can say that also he would go to the Bismillah Khan also would go to the nearby Bihariji temple. Although he was a Muslim, the most important thing is that although he was a Muslim boy, he would go to the temple and he would sing this song Chaita in Bhojpuri language. In Bhojpuri language, it is a language spoken in Bihar. When he would finish reciting the song, he would get a big laddu, right? As a reward, the weight of that laddu was 1.25 kg. This was a prize given to Bismillah Khan by local Maharaja for singing the Chaita. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. The writer says that this incident occurred when Bismillah Khan was 5-year-old boy. That he would get this laddu as a reward. And after 8 years, Bismillah Khan earned the highest civilian award in India, that is the Bharat Ratna. So this is the distance that he has travelled in his life. At 5 years of age, he would get a 1.25 kg laddu as a reward. And at 80 years, right? And in 80 years ago, he achieved the highest civilian award in India, that is Bharat Ratna. Right? Now we proceed to point number 4. Born on 21 March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Baks Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur king's court. So here, Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 in a family of Muslim. Okay, he belongs to a Muslim family, and they are all the musician one. Family belongs to musicians from Bihar state, right? His grandfather Rasul Baks Khan was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur king's court, and his father, right? And his father, that is Pegambar Baks, and other maternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So in this way we can say that all the family members of Bismillah Khans, they were all engaged in playing the Shehnai players, including his father, all paternal ancestors, everyone. Right? Now we proceed to point number 5. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras. Now it is Varanasi. So at the age, Bismillah Khan ji also started learning music at a very early age. So when he was 3 years old, his mother took him to his maternal uncle. Maternal uncle means the lineage of one's mother's side, right? Maternal uncle's house in Banaras, which is also known as now Varanasi. Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Bismillah Khan saw his maternal uncle played the Shehnai and it was attracted towards it, and he also wanted to learn playing it. Soon Bismillah Khan started accompanying his uncle Ali Bux to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bux was employed to play the Shehnai. So Bismillah Khan started going with his uncle Ali Bux to the Vishnu temple in Banaras. Ali Bux was on a duty to play the Shehnai at a Vishnu temple of Banaras. Ali Bux would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. When Bismillah Khan saw his uncle Ali Bux play the Shehnai, he would also get attracted and he played for learning to him with the Shehnai. Gradually, Bismillah Khan also started learning playing the Shehnai and he would practice throughout the day. He never got tired. He was so captivated by the Shehnai. Right? For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent rags that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. So here we can say that for many years, Ustad Bismillah Khan remained in Banaras. He would visit the temple of Balaji and the temple of Mangala Maya and would remain on the bank of the Ganga where he could practice playing the Shehnai all by himself. Right? Here we come to know that the talent of Ustad Bismillah Khan, he was so inspired and motivated by the river Ganga. Okay, by the river Ganga. It provoked him to improve his performance, and he also invented many ragas that were considered impossible to be produced by a Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan worked hard and invented different sounds with the Shehnai. Now we proceed to point number 6. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. So when Bismillah Khan was 14 years of age, he accompanied his maternal uncle, that is Ali Bux, to the Allahabad Musical Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. So, Ustad Faiz Khan, he was renowned classical vocalist, was impressed by the performance of Ustad Bismillah Khan and said that if he would work hard like that, he would make a name in the field of music. Right? So, when the All India Radio was the first Indian to greet the entire nation through his Shehnai. He played the Shehnai from the Red Fort, right? He played the Shehnai there from the Red Fort on his memorable occasion. Now point number 7. When when India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. So he played the Shehnai from the Red Fort on the memorable occasion, that is freedom of India, on 15th August 1947. Right? So it was a great honor to give his performance there. Right? He poured his heart into the Rag Cafe from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech. So, the rag that was played by Ustad Bismillah Khan on the occasion of the independence of India was Rag Cafe. He played it from Red Fort, right? He played it from Red Fort. And from there, we can say that after his performance, the first Prime Minister of India, that is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, right? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru gave his famous speech, Tryst with Destiny. So, students, today we have learned about 3 points. Point number 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, students, right now we have seen that the family of Ustad Bismillah Khan, his maternal uncle, how he contribute to learn Shehnai for him, and how Ustad Bismillah Khan got an honor to play the Shehnai on the occasion of Independence Day, that is 15th August 1947. So this is a very great honor for him. And in the speech of our first Prime Minister, that is Mr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he just write in his speech in Tryst with Destiny about the Shehnai of Ustad Bismillah Khan. So I hope whatever today we have discussed, we have explained, it must be clear to you. Thank you so much.